almost Christmas. We are getting so close. I'm filming this on December 3rd, so I'm still far away, but you're very close. I know that during this season, it can be hard to get gifts for everyone, especially like friends and acquaintances and coworkers and teachers and all those people that you don't really like want to spend or aren't able to spend a ton of money on. You still want to get them something sentimental and nice, and that's where DIY Christmas presents really come in handy. Today I thought it'd be really fun to try and test out 5 different kind of popular DIY Christmas presents that I have seen around the interwebs, whether that be Pinterest or Google or Instagram or wherever, and see, first of all, if they're easy, if they turn out the way that they look on Instagram, and if they make good gifts or not. I'm not the craftiest person, which I actually think is great for this video, because you're gonna get a realistic view as to if these crafts are possible or not, instead of watching a guru. If I can do these, you can definitely do these. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's do something that I for sure know is at least gonna be easy. I can't really mess this one up. We're going to make a gift bath salt. I actually found this at the thrift store. I bought some from Michael's as well. Quite a bit larger though. So I like this one. I feel like this is a really good gift size. You can make a big batch of this and then divide it up. This was only like $1.99 I think at the thrift store. But all we need for this is Epsom salt. This actually also has sea salt in it as well. So this is already kind of like a little bit of a mix, but I want to make my own still. Essential oils. I have all my essential oils up here. And then whatever little other things you want to add. I have these dried lavender twigs. I want to add some dried lavender to make it a little bit prettier as well. You could add coloring if you wanted to make it color. You could add whatever you want. Okay, what I'm gonna do is spoon this Epsom salt into this container. If you wanted to add your own sea salt to this as well, you could do that. You could also end up making your own version of a scrub if you just wanted to add coconut oil to this and or some sugar, and you could basically do this exact same thing as a body scrub if you'd rather do that instead of bath salts. I want to leave enough room to be able to mix everything, so I'm gonna stop there. This is gonna be so simple. So I'm gonna pick out the scents I want. I think I want to do like a lavender eucalyptus, since we have lavender in here and eucalyptus is very spa-like. Let's see, there's a lavender and a eucalyptus. So I'm just going to add like 10-ish drops of essential oils into here. The neck. This is already so easy and I love it. Then to make it visual appealing, you could do lavender, you could add dried eucalyptus as well if you want to. Any sort of dried flowers, really dried rose, that would be really pretty. There's so many recipes for this online too. And I'm gonna show you a close-up of this, don't worry. And I'm gonna try to disperse all that lavender throughout, and I saved some lavender to put on top as well. I think it's most important to see it on the sides, so I'm gonna try to mix it to where you can see the lavender on the sides of this. Then I'm just going to add a little more lavender on top, like adding a little bit of salt and pepper to the end of your dish. So cute! I'll show you a little close-up. There's what that one looks like when it's all said and done. I think that that actually is a really nice one. Easy and doable, I will give this a 10 out of 10. Practicality, I'm also gonna give this like a 9 out of 10. Unless someone doesn't have a bathtub, this is pretty dang practical. Also, Epsom salts have a lot of benefits. It's good before bed, it can help with sore muscles. Sentimentality is not very sentimental at all. I'll give it like a 2 out of 10. A couple ways you can make this like a bigger gift if you wanted to add on to something DIY is like this plus a candle, or plus lotions, or even plus really fuzzy cozy socks. Like anything that is cozy and spa-like I think would go really well with this. And I think adding something DIY to something that you bought makes it a little bit better of a present. So this I so far recommend. Okay, this next one I'm nervous for. I wasn't able to find a single tutorial on how to do this, but I did see a picture on Pinterest right here. So what I picked up for this is I found this journal. It was on sale, which is why I picked it up. It's like borderline cute, but also borderline cheesy. It says be happy, which I like the message behind it, but I don't know. I think that this is just kind of a couple years ago. So I picked up that. I have some Mod Podge paper plate to put that on, paintbrush, gold leaf, and I really wanted to find some cute scrapbook paper at Michael's, but they were sold out of all the cute prints. I like how scrapbook paper has a slight sheen to it, but nothing I can do. So I went ahead and picked up, there is this like pad of paper that is all neutrals. I think neutrals are really pretty and really in right now. And so what we're gonna try to do here, I also don't know if I should try to Mod Podge on the outside. Oh, this has a nice texture. Okay, okay. It almost has like a little bit of a woven texture. Does it say that? Printed cardstock. I'm gonna pick out a color that I think would look good with the gold. Peach has a little bit too much of a orangey undertone to go with gold. This kind of dusty rose is very pretty. That's a top contender at the moment. Or there's this like very light blush. I think I like the light blush because this is a little bit dark and that's a nice contrast. I have very bad scissor skills. If I can do this, you can do this. What I'm going to do is cut this to size for this journal. Oh, it's so close, but so far. Or I could even cut it in half and then use the back, leave that white and do pink on either side. I feel like that would fit perfectly. I'm gonna try that. I actually am very impressed with this paper. In case you're wondering, it's from Michaels. The brand is Recollections. It was a little bit pricey, but I happened to buy these things on Cyber Monday. So everything was 20% off and then that was 40% off because that was the most expensive thing in my cart. What I'm gonna do, I actually watched a tutorial on how to do this, so I hope I do it correctly, is I'm going to paint a little Mod Podge kind of thinly onto the cover of the book itself. Sorry that I don't have all the different great up close angles. I'm a one-woman show. I think I'm gonna get kind of close to the edges. I'm gonna make sure that my paper is the side out that I want it to be out, with the textured side out. And I'm just going to try to very carefully lay this in the correct spot and press it down. And make sure that all the little air bubbles are out of there. The front's already done. And then I'm gonna repeat and do the exact same thing on the back. So far, this is much easier than I was expecting. I don't think it looks too odd that the bind is white and that the covers are pink because it lines up pretty perfectly. Amazing, okay. So that is already done. Let's see if we can not mess up gold leaf. The thing that I like about gold leaf is it's never perfect. It always has little cracks, and that's actually why I like it as opposed to just then Mod Podging regular gold paper over it. Wow, this comes with quite a few sheets. 18 sheets. I want to do this at a diagonal. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to go ahead and paint this Mod Podge on at a diagonal. And it says that this needs to be tacky. So I might let this sit for a minute to where it's not too terribly wet. And now this gold leaf actually has an imperfection in it already. It's a little bit chipped. Do I want to use a perfect sheet or do I like the imperfect? I'll try a perfect sheet just to say I tried it. This is already starting to turn a little bit clear, so I might go ahead and lay this down over it. Wow, it's kind of working. You ready? Wow, pretty. I like it. I'm gonna continue with it at the bottom a little. The hard part will be lining this up. It looks so good. I mean, it's not perfect, but that's what I really like about gold foil. And then if you have good handwriting or someone you know has good handwriting, I think it would be really, really pretty to like write someone's initials. Sorry, you can see that Mod Podge there. That'll dry. I think it'd be really pretty to write someone's initial or their, I don't know, their birthday or something. All in all, this project was actually a lot easier than I was expecting. I was expecting this to be hard. So I would say, what were my factors? Ease of project. I would give this an 8 out of 10. This was a lot easier than I was expecting. Sentimentality, I give it like a 5 out of 10. Practicality, I would give this like a 9 out of 10. Most people like journals and like writing and things, whether it be for school or for organization or for writing or for drawing. And I think that this would be even more sentimental if you were to write, like I said, someone's name or someone's birthday, I don't know, whatever on there. And to make this present a little more of a full present, it would be really nice to give them some like nice pencils or some nice pens with this. Also, if they are an artist or a drawer or whatever, it'd be cute to slip a little gift card in here to an art supply store for them to be able to draw in their new notebook. Okay, what next? Okay, next, I am feeling good about this one. This is a food one. I might not be crafty, but food is my domain. This one seems super easy. These are those cute little hot cocoa spoons. I feel like these are a staple, but I've never actually made these. They look like this. You see them everywhere. Unfortunately, Sprouts was out of all chocolates except for milk. I wanted to do an array of like white chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and then like maybe some like white chocolate little zigzags on the milk, blah, blah, blah. But what they did have is semi-sweet chocolate chips. And these peppermint puffs, I actually like these. They're kind of like buttermints. I feel like they will melt into hot chocolate a lot quicker than actual peppermints. So I went ahead and crushed those up. I put them in my little Hi Friends mug. That is for sale on the little carousel right below this video, if you want to get one. So I think all I'm gonna do, a way to make this gift much more special, I went ahead and just bought these so that I don't have to give away my spoons. But if you go to a thrift store and buy really cool antique spoons, that would be a really, really pretty gift. I think I'm just going to coat this in chocolate and try to have a generous amount in the actual spoon itself. Let it drip off a little. Set this on the parchment paper and top it with a few little peppermints. I should have made these a bit smaller. No such thing as too much. It's almost like peppermint bark on a spoon. And then the theory is someone could just heat up some milk and use this spoon to mix the milk and it would turn into hot chocolate. That's the theory. So I'm just gonna make a few of these. So far, this is really easy. I do think it could be much cuter if you got some vintage thrifted spoons and if you used an array of types of chocolate and an array of types of toppings. Also, a way to make this gift look more substantial would be get someone a really cute personalized mug and put these out of the top of the mug. That's way it's a little gift and something DIY. That would make it much more sentimental, I think. Maybe even a Hi Friends mug. Promoting myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and let these harden and we will take a final look at these at the end of the video once they can be displayed in a mug and really, really cute. I would say ease of this, 9 out of 10. So easy. Sentimentality, 2 out of 10. It's very affordable. Practicality, I'd give this like a solid 8 out of 10. If someone was lactose intolerant, they might not be as into this. If someone's like super healthy, they might not necessarily love getting something sweet, but 'tis the season. I do recommend this one. I think it's cute. Like I said, definitely recommend thrifting some vintage spoons and giving it to them in a mug so it looks a bit more substantial. Can't wait to see how these turn out too at the end. But the first thing I saw were cute little like kind of clay ornaments. I'll insert a picture here. They seem to be not that difficult to make, and I went ahead and picked up some clay from the store. I actually ordered all this online and then did in-store pickup, so I didn't realize it was this little of clay, but it's okay because these were only like $1 a piece. So I saw that there was air dry clay and oven baked clay. I went ahead and got oven baked clay because at least I know it bakes in 30 minutes, whereas I don't know how long it takes something to dry. So I thought it'd be cute to do a couple different shapes and maybe also a couple of different flat ones like we saw in the picture, because I also got some paint pens and we can maybe like try to paint someone's initials onto it or do a cute little, I don't know, sentimental Christmassy thing. I figure this probably works similar to Play-Doh. I don't know if that's true or not, but I have the clay. I have a baking sheet with parchment paper because I don't know if it sticks. I don't know. I got some little ornament hooks. I don't know if I should try to bake these into them or just try to poke a hole and weave these into them later. And then, as I said, I bought some paint pens. I have a couple ideas in mind that I want to try. They were out of white clay. So I went ahead and got this kind of like rose gold blush and then this kind of like silvery gray. I felt like together they would be pretty. And one of the ones that I want to try to do, I have a couple different things in mind, but I think it'd be cute to try and do, oh, this is a lot harder than I was expecting. I wonder if that's normal. I want to try to do a rainbow. I also want to try to do like some modern shape and maybe kind of like a card, like a little gift tag looking thing that we saw in one of them so that we could write someone's initials onto them. I'm thinking that this clay is quite dry. Maybe it's just the silver. It's not like Play-Doh at all. The pink's a little more malleable than the silver. All right, I'm gonna work my hardest to try to form these into a couple shapes and I'll get right back to you. So the longer that I played around with it, the softer it kind of got. And I watched a little YouTube video and people said you have to condition the clay by basically like warming it up, working it together. So I made this cute little rainbow, which I think would be a really cute little gift ornament for maybe a newborn little baby girl. And what I can't decide is if I want to try, I'm sure that these can be baked. If I want to try to bake it with this in it or just poke a hole. Well, I think I'm just gonna try to stab this through the center of the ornament. And you know what? Let's bake it with it in it. Why not? I'm hoping that that forms together pretty hard. Is it the cutest? No, you can totally tell it's homemade. I made it. I'm not great at crafts, but we got one. I'm gonna put it on our parchment paper and I'm going to try and work enough. I wish that the gray was the softer one because that's the one that I want to work, that I want to try to use in like a big piece. The gray is basically a no-go. I have successfully like rolled this into a ball and flattened it into a pancake. And so now I think I'm gonna try to cut it into like a gift tag type shape by removing the sides of each, the top. And then for the bottom, all right, we have a gift tag shape kind of. So far, looks like it's gonna be a lot easier than it is, and it is actually much harder than I'd expect. I'm just gonna kind of try to make this look a little bit nicer. I mean, that's not terrible, considering the fact that it's very hard to work with. Maybe air dried clay would have been the easier way to go. That's not terrible looking. We have both of these. I'm just gonna pop them in the oven for 30 minutes. I know one's quite a bit thicker than the other though, so I might check it at 20 minutes, see how it's going, and then we can pull it out and decorate. Okay, our ornaments are out of the oven and they do feel hard. They kind of baked darker than they were and more pearlescent than I was expecting. I was expecting this to be more of like a blush, less of such a deep rose pink. Picturing this particular set going to like a cute little girl, a fictional one in my mind. I bought different color paint pens, but I think that black is the only color that will show up well, and I have the worst handwriting, so I'm pretty positive I'm about to ruin this. Let's see, what letter do I feel confident in drawing? Do you know what? Maybe I'll write 2019, like if it's someone's first Christmas, and I'm wondering if I could do cute little like greenery around it. Quite possibly. Let's go ahead and see. Let's see here. It's gonna be 2019. So the O and the 1 are gonna be centered, so I'm gonna start with that to make sure that everything is aligned. There's the O, the 1, and now I can do the 2019. Baby's first Christmas. I'll see if I can go in and clean that up here in a second, but I do want to try to do some greenery of some sort. Wow, my handwriting's terrible. A little bit of greenery. Well, you know, it's okay. Here's the final look at both of them. They're not great. They're pretty bad. I think you gotta be pretty artsy to pull this one off. So I'm gonna give this one, for easy, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10, at least for me. I'm nowhere near being able to pull this off and make it look cute. Sentimentality, the fact that you can make anything and write anything, it's something that they can keep their whole life and hang on their tree. It is very sentimental. Practicality, it's a Christmas ornament, crying out loud. So sentimentality, I'd give this like a 9 out of 10. Practicality, a 9 out of 10. I think if you're a very artsy person, this is at least very cheap. This cost me like $6 to make these, and I could have made quite a few more. I just threw away the clay because I was over it. At least I can say I tried. Okay, last but not least, something that I know is very popular is making candles. I've never made a candle before, so I wanted to see how hard is it really. So I've debated between quite a few different things. I ordered these mason jars online, but they came in huge, so I think I might actually use this. This is just something I had in my house. It's a little pinch bowl, but I think it could make a really cute little candle. It was from Target. And then Michael's had this and this. This is candle wax, paraffin wax, is that how you say that? And then they have these little wicks that come with the clips at the bottom. And I know you need to secure them. Since you could use tacky wax or a dab of glue, I'm thinking about using a hot glue gun. I know that that might heat back up with the hot wax in there, but if it says you can use tacky wax also, then I'm hoping that that makes it okay. There's that wick. Potato. Then I also have my essential oils that we could choose from. I actually picked some pines off my tree back there because I thought that would be really pretty to sprinkle on top. So because of that, I think we should do something kind of Christmassy. Peppermint is kind of Christmassy. We could do like a citrus. Frankincense, oh that's very Christmassy. Oh, that smells good. Frankincense and orange. I kind of like both those together. That might sound weird. I think I'm gonna do frankincense and orange together and then do a little bit of pine on top. We need to heat up this wax over a double boiler. So we're gonna have to take this project to the kitchen. I'm a little bit excited, I'm a little bit nervous. Let's go. Okay, most all of my pots actually have like this kind of rubber grip on the bottom so that when you're mixing, it doesn't move around. So I'm gonna have to be a little creative here. This is dishwasher and microwave safe. I hope it's safe as a double boiler, but it fits in this tiny little pot. So I'm gonna create my own double boiler with this, fill this up with water, and maybe I'm gonna explode a bowl today. I don't know. So apparently there's 3 blocks in here and they're all about the size of soap. I'm wondering if 1 block will be enough for this. It might only fill it, maybe I should do 2. It's better to have more than too little, but we don't need a lot of hot glue for this. Okay, the double boiler's definitely boiling. Also, I went ahead and cut the wax up into little pieces so that hopefully that'd make it go faster. That's like basic science, right? I'm hoping that the hot glue is heated up by now. There we go. Now I'm just going to try to place this in the center down there. Looks good to me. Whenever we dry the candle, we'll have to put something over this and wrap the wick around it so that it dries straight up. Let's go ahead and take a look at our wax. It is definitely starting to melt. I'd say it's almost halfway there. The wax is almost melted. It's been like 15 minutes. It's taken quite a while. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add in the essential oils, even though it's not completely melted, just to be able to do something. So I'm gonna add quite a bit of this orange. I feel like that is the weaker of the scents. Then I'm probably gonna do like 10-ish drops of this frankincense. Gonna make sure that's well combined. And I guess when the last bit of wax melts, we can pour it into here, which I feel like is going to be very dangerous, very scary. And if any gets on the counter, I'm screwed. So maybe I should do this over the sink. I'm trying to think through potential issues here. And since hot wax is very hard to clean up, I just laid down paper towels at the bottom of my sink. So if any spills, I'll just throw away the paper towel. And it's about time to try to pour it into here, and I'm pretty nervous. Here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. Yep, I'm glad I put those paper towels there. Well, that made a mess. I'm gonna pour this hot water to melt off the remaining wax. It actually isn't that hard to clean up. And this wick is coming, oh shoot, it came off the bottom. Gosh dang. Oh well. I'm gonna just try to set it in the center as much as possible. I got it in the center. And I'm going to just sprinkle some of these in there and hope they float. Cool, they do float. I think it'd be pretty to just do it on half, but I don't know how much control I have over where these end up going. And as they dry too, I can sprinkle more on the very, very top. That one is not easy. I feel like that one requires a lot of parental guidance. In fact, I feel like I need parental guidance because I got hot wax all over my kitchen. Definitely, if you have some sort of double boiler that the top can also have a handle, that would be beneficial. I don't know if that exists, I'm sure it does. We will take a look back at that once it's fully dried and when chocolate spoons are dried, and I'll go ahead and rate all of them from my favorite to least favorite. But so far for my candle, I think the ease of the project, I'm gonna give like a 2 out of 10 because it did require a lot of like hot, scary things. But if we're talking about the ease of making it look nice, honestly, I think 9 out of 10 because it's pretty hard to make a candle look bad. You know, as long as you do it and don't burn yourself, it's gonna look good. It's just hard to actually do. Sentimentality, like a 5 out of 10. I mean, you could make a scent for someone that's special to them or put it in a mug, maybe that's has some sort of meaning. And what was my other thing? Oh, practicality, so practical. Who doesn't love a candle? I love candles. I would honestly give that a 9 out of 10, but the 2 out of 10 for actually trying to physically do this is pretty difficult. Okay, here's the finished products of all of my different DIYs. I'm gonna pick the ones that I'd most like to receive, and then I'll tell you the ones that are easiest to make. Most like to receive, I would probably say the journal and the candle are top. The bath salts would be next. That would probably be 3rd place. Easiest to make, I would honestly say the journal and the bath salts are both pretty upfront. Probably easiest, 2nd easiest. These are pretty dang easy too. They just make a little bit of a mess. This doesn't really require any mess, any sort of heat source. That does require a heat source. I'd say these are the easiest. These are the best gifts. If you're craftier than I am, you might do a better job at these. And then these are cute if you gift them with a mug like that. And especially if you use some cute little vintage spoons. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. There were some definite fails, but some okay attempts. I'd give myself a 4 out of 10 as a crafter since I'm rating everything. Happy gift giving season. It is the best season of all. I love Christmas so much. I love giving gifts so much. Hopefully having these DIY affordable gifts, at least a couple of them that worked out, will help make gift giving a little bit easier this year. I love you so much. I hope you have the best rest of your day, and I'll see you in a video very soon. Bye!